All right, hello and welcome to Michigan Business Talk. My name is Mike Doctor. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I am very glad you're here. Very glad you decided to continue to follow along with us. Just had a great article posted by Davenport University that highlighted the podcast, and I just want to take a moment and thank them for that. Thank you so much for your support, Davenport. Thank you so much for being willing to push stuff like this out there to the alumni, to the public. I'm hoping it's adding some great value, and I really, really appreciate the fact that you've chosen to invest time, effort, marketing in me, and that's cool. And so I hope to repay the favor and continue to represent you guys great. So thank you for that write-up. If you haven't seen it, I will probably be having it on a blog or website or something before too long. So thank you guys. That was super, super cool. As promised, this episode and the next couple episodes are going to be focused on business survival, right? And what we need to do to survive in times like this, in crazy business times. These are unprecedented times that nobody's ever seen before. Nobody really knows what's going on. Nobody really knows how long it's going to last. And it's going to last a little longer. It's definitely going to last a little longer. And it's definitely something that we need to account for as business owners in a variety of different ways. And there's a book by Vern Arnish called Scaling Up, which is a fantastic book. And in that book, he talks about 4 different things that a business needs to scale. And I think there are very similar things that a business needs to survive. And some of this stuff will be overlap if you've read the book. Mike Dykstra and I referenced it on the podcast he was on from Zealand Lumber. And it's a great book. I definitely recommend it for any business. But as we're thinking about, what are the things that we need to focus on to make sure that our business can last through something like this, there's 4 things that come to mind, right? There's cash reserves, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. There is generating revenue. There is having the right systems or technology in place to be able to deal with something like this. And there's having the right people to run that technology. And so over the next 4 podcast series here, hopefully all of them will be this week. I know for sure I'll do another one tomorrow probably. We're going to talk about those 4 things. And we're going to start with cash reserves, right? The reason I start with cash reserves, and you guys have heard it before, and you've heard a lot of people say it, cash is king, right? Cash is king. And it's not necessary to have cash stockpile to build a business. You can build a business on a fiat business model and a debt-based business model. Look at Amazon, look at Wayfair, although they're not a perfect example right now as their stock is being decimated. But look at those types of companies. You can absolutely do that. Real estate, a lot of real estate investors use other people's money, use lending, and use a debt-based business model. You can use a debt-based business model to build your business. Here is the caveat, though. If you choose to do that, which is okay, you need to ensure that you have enough cash reserves or you're stashing enough cash from your revenue or your profits to be able to pay the balance or the principal or the minimum payment or whatever it is on that debt if all of your revenue stops. I'm going to say that again. You need to have enough money to be able to cover the payments if all of your revenue stops. I have seen time and time again many businesses, many people who take this for granted and they don't think about it. And they think that no matter what, they're always going to be able to either A, raise money, or B, they're going to always have somebody who's going to buy from them. And when they don't, they end up getting their butts handed to them. And it happens really quickly. It happens really quickly, and it happens in a way that they don't expect. And a lot of people end up getting decimated. And so you can do that. You can build a business with a debt-based business model. You just need to execute. You need to execute. You need to have backup plan after backup plan after backup plan after backup plan for when things go wrong. If you're going to use that model, you need to make sure that you have ways to generate that revenue so you can save money. You need to be able to save. You need to not pay yourself. You need to not take money out of your business. All of these other things, you need to save money to have these reserves. Because, and it varies. People ask me a lot of times, okay, well, you talk about cash reserves. You talk about having this. How much do I need? How much do I need? Okay, well, That's going to vary. That's going to depend. Let's just take a really ridiculous hypothetical situation. Let's imagine that, I don't know. Here's one. Let's imagine that somebody across the world eats an animal that nobody has ever heard of before, and that animal gives him a virus that spreads throughout the entire world, completely decimates the entire industrial mechanism that we've built, and the entire world economy is shut down for, 6 months. How much cash do you need if you're going to have to cover payroll and all of your bills? Imagine that ridiculous scenario. That'll never happen, right? Absolutely never happen in a million years. There's no way that anything like that will ever happen. Well, guys, it's here. Do you have enough cash reserves? Do you have enough set up? Do you have enough stashed away to be able to cover all of your expenses? Or at least your payroll? Or at least your mortgage? What do you guys got? You need to have that. You need to have that set up. And if you got caught in 2008 and you're sitting here now in the exact same situation, you didn't learn a freaking thing from that experience. You didn't learn a thing. And that's okay, unless it's not, and unless it's too late. But in most cases, it's not too late. In most cases, you can rebuild. In most cases, you can figure it out again. In most cases, you can start over. But don't get caught again. Stash cash away. And it's not just to be able to cover, it's to be able to ensure that you have opportunities when things start going right. In the world of trading, cash is a position. People often forget that, myself included. You can ask my trading friends, right? I like to have money moving. I like to have stuff in the market. I hate missed opportunity. But with that comes a certain amount of risk. If I don't have cash stashed on the side, I can't take advantage of new opportunities. I could have made significant money over the last month had I had more cash on the sidelines. And I didn't. I had it all in positions, and a lot of those positions got decimated just like everybody else. Some of them did okay, but a lot of them got decimated. And I was too involved, and I couldn't, I had already lost. I was pot committed, right, or what they say. And so I had already lost, so I had to stay. I couldn't pull it out. I couldn't change it around. I couldn't make other moves. And there were people, and I was watching people. I was watching people I knew. I was watching people I didn't know, and they were making thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on trades, either intraday or over the course of a couple days, right? Thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on trades. And I just sat there and watched because I didn't have the appropriate cash reserves for that part of my business. I had everything in play. And that's on me. That's my fault. That's not anybody else's fault. That's not the Senate's fault for selling their stocks after the briefing. That's ridiculousness. Stop complaining about that. Start doing something. Who freaking cares? They're going to do that. It doesn't matter who's in office. If you get information, you're going to freaking sell if you know that the market's going to go down. And even if they didn't have that information, we knew there was a worldwide pandemic. We knew that it was going to affect global businesses. We knew that global businesses, multinational organizations like Starbucks and Apple and other manufacturing facilities had stopped production in China for 2 weeks before they sold those stocks. We knew this change was coming. We also knew that Jeff Bezos sold $2 billion of Amazon 2 weeks before the information even came to America. And we're going to sit here and complain about a couple of senators that made $100,000. Who freaking cares? Go make your own $100,000. Stop bitching, start doing. Please stop bitching, start doing. Take advantage of it. Plan. Pay attention to what's happening right now, because what's happening right now is going to shape who is successful over the next 10 years. The people that come out of this and have either positioned their businesses the right way to be able to sustain through the ridiculousness that is going on right now, or the individuals who are in a position where they can take advantage of the gaps that are being opened wide open to be filled. There are needs right now. There are people who need things right now, this very second, and they will pay you to do it. And the people who see that and take advantage of that are the people who are going to be able to come out of this. And the people who have stashed enough cash on the sideline so that they can jump into the market when they need to, and they could take advantage of all of these things that are decimated. How many people bought Tesla at $900, $950 and got super excited because it was going to go to $4,000 over the next however many months? What is it now? $500, $400? I don't even know. Right? It ain't $900. I know that. But guess what? People are going to make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars on Tesla as it goes back to $1,000. Are you? Are you going to figure it out? Do you have the cash reserves to make it happen? If not, you got to earn. You got to go get some revenue, and we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about generating revenue and how to do it in a market like this. How do you get people to pay you for things? We're going to talk about that. You might not like it, but we're going to talk about it, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it good. But here's what you need to know in terms of cash and cash reserves. And I'm going to wrap up with this. This isn't going to be a long stuff. You guys don't need to listen to me babble for however many minutes. You guys know all this stuff already. Everybody's already told it to you. I don't even know why you're listening to me, but thank you, okay? But everybody's already said this. You need to plan better. You need to plan better because everybody got caught with their pants down. Everybody got caught with their pants down. And we just sat and watched, and we cried, and we bitched, and we blamed senators, and we blamed the president, and we blame China. We blame everybody. But we never take responsibility for ourselves. Let's start. It's not hard. Just do little things differently. Guess what? You can't leave the house right now. You can probably cut down on a heck of a lot of expenses. And if you can cut down on a heck of a lot of expenses by not leaving the house, you're actually eating in instead of eating out. Stash that cash away. Put it in Coinbase, put it in Robinhood, put it in Acorns, whatever you put it under the mattress. I don't care. Put it somewhere. You need to have some reserves. You need to have some rainy day reserves. You need to start stashing it away. Start with 5%. And once you cover that and it doesn't hurt anymore to put 5% away, then put 10% away. Or bump the percentage, just like a push-up challenge, right? You can do 10 push-ups, tomorrow do 11. You put 5% away this month, next month put away 6. It's just a little bit more. And do that for the next 10, 11, 12 years as we rise back through this economy and this economic upturn. Because it's right. Everybody who says it's going to go up faster than it did before once we recover from this is absolutely right. The challenge is nobody knows when we're going to recover. And if they tell you they do, then they're lying. Because there is no vaccine, there is no cure, there is no way that no matter how many trillions of dollars the Fed prints and pumps into the economy, there is no saving these businesses' forecasts who have been decimated by this over the last little bit. Q2 revenue, Q2 reports and earnings that start to come out, Q1 and Q2 are going to be brutal. Absolutely brutal. Maybe Q1 was okay, right? But the half of it they had to shut down from the end of February until March. It's almost half of their quarter. Businesses had to shut down globally. There's going to be more downturn. Stash your cash. Be ready. Be ready to take advantage. Be ready. Be prepared to be able to continue to sustain throughout the ridiculousness of this. Cash is king. And if you have cash, you can maintain your credit because credit is queen. And access to capital is what business owners need. Access to capital. But you got to be smart with it. You got to plan with it. You got to know that not everything is always going to go rosy. If you guys can make it through this, if your businesses can make it through this is a once in a lifetime thing. My parents, my family, who have built businesses their entire lives, my dad first building a family business and then building his own business, never seen this. The economy hasn't been shut down. The world hasn't been shut down by anything like this ever. Even in 57 or whatever it was with the last flu thing when they shut stuff down, it wasn't like this. And it wasn't so unforeseen that nobody knew what the heck was going to happen. And it wasn't so fast spreading that numbers are doubling every single day. This is a big deal. A big, big deal. And if you're not prepared, you're going to get smashed in the face. Get prepared. If you got that extra $1,000 somewhere, put it, just stash it, forget about it, keep it, wait for that opportunity to put it to use and put it to good use and then double it and then double it again and then double it again and then double it again. It can happen. I promise you. I've seen it. I've watched it. I've done some of it myself. Okay? So this is what you need to do. You need to start looking at ways that you can stash cash, ways that you can save your nickels, pinch your pennies, cancel your renewing subscriptions, whatever else it is, and put that money aside. You gotta put it aside. Nobody's getting paid right now, so the government's gonna send you $1,000 plus $500 for each kid, or $2,000 plus $500 for each kid twice. Okay, cool. You got $6,000. Yippity doo dah. That buys you what? 3 months? Then what? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? If you don't know, you got to start planning. You got to start talking about it. And if I can help you, please reach out to me. You guys know where to find me. Thank you for listening. Hopefully this helped. I want to get you guys, your minds around the things that you need to do to prepare yourself for next time, because it's not the last time this will happen. There's going to be another thing in 10 to 15 years, 20 years that comes. And guess what? We're all still young enough now where we're all probably going to see it. And we got to be prepared, and it's going to happen again. Okay? And so I want you guys to know that you need to start planning. You need to stash that cash. It's extremely important. If you don't do it, you're going to get caught. And not only are you going to have to shut down operations, but you're going to miss out on opportunity. And lost opportunity is one of the things that can absolutely 100% keep you up at night. It's not just screwing up. It's not being able to take advantage of that opportunity because you screwed up. So it becomes twofold. So don't do that. Plan better. Let me know how I can help. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. If you are watching and you want to listen, you can find the podcast anywhere that podcasts are heard. If you're listening and you want to watch, you can find it on my YouTube channel, and you can find that by going to mikedoctor.com, MIKEDOKTER.com. Also, a bunch of new events just posted there, okay? Couple things. First of all, Detroit, Certificate of Management, 6 sessions for professional development that are going to happen. We're going to do a disc analysis. We're going to do, leading with empathy. We're going to talk about different types of leadership. We're going to talk about level 5 leadership. We're going to talk about conflict resolution. It's a fantastic class if you're looking to up your management game, and also you can get credits towards continuing education. If you're thinking about going back and getting your degree, you don't want to enroll, this is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to get some college credits, get some high-level learning. This is not stuff that I teach to my undergrad classes. This is stuff that some of it I didn't even learn in my graduate classes. This is new stuff that's coming out, top-of-the-line leadership stuff that's specifically focused towards strategic and leadership management. And it was designed by Davenport University, by their leaders there. Absolutely fantastic program. We're going to have a lot of fun. I've done it before in Detroit, and it was fantastic. The second one is a virtual real-time learning event, right? That is going to be 3 sessions, and I believe it's going to start May 21st. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Because I just posted it. And yes, real-time learning impact series. It's called Influencing at All Levels, and it's at May 21, and it's from noon to 1. It's 3 days, noon to 1:30, virtual, anytime, anywhere you are, on your lunch break. Take an extra half hour, and you can come learn with me. We're going to talk about some really cool things. We're going to talk about some high-level leadership stuff. We're going to talk about how you can influence and how you can have an impact no matter where you are. So that's going to be super cool. You can find that information on my website. You can register through that website. There's links to Davenport's website. They're hosting this, so the registration goes through them. So new events posted. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. We had 8 events canceled this year, and that was, just like everybody else. I've taken a hit too, guys. I'm right there with you, right? This isn't an isolated thing, and this isn't something that only a few people are being affected with. Everybody is being affected by this, right? But there's ways that we can survive, and there's ways that we can get through this pangolin apocalypse, all right? And you can do it. So check out my website. Thank you for listening. You can listen again wherever podcasts are heard and watch on YouTube. New event scheduled. Super stoked about that. Come back tomorrow or the next day. One of these next couple days, we are going to talk about generating revenue. Okay? Yeah, Mike, we got to have cash. We know. But how do I generate revenue? How do I even get money to come in so I can start saving some cash? We're going to talk about it. Join me tomorrow or sometime later this week. I'm hoping it's tomorrow. Thank you again for listening. Thank you guys for your support. Please rate, please share, please like, please comment. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.